Welcome to the Ref Room, hockey talk for referees, coaches, players, and fans.
Broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
With your hosts, Smokin, Silz, and Brad Baumruck.
Live.
The Ref Room starts right now.
And now your host.
All right, it is Monday. Welcome to the Ref Room, everybody. I am Smokin Silz, joined by my man Brad Baumruck, who, for a change, doesn't have any Iowa gear on. I don't think I've ever seen you on the show without Iowa gear.
I thought I'd switch it up, a little casual today. It's still hockey related.
Yeah, I know. What is that you got on anyway?
It's just one of those original 6 commemorations.
Oh, very cool.
Of the first 6 teams, so I like it. I don't know how in this day and age they have all 5 of 6 of the teams in the East and have just the Blackhawks in the West by themselves, but I'm not the NHL, so.
Isn't that amazing? I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, so much hockey on the West Coast now, too. It's great.
I know.
You can get the late night games now. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to watch late hockey, there are some late games now that are on TV. And with all the new streaming apps and everything, you could watch games all day if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's really something.
It's nice if you're a super hockey fan. Plus, there's some really great YouTube channels with guys that talk hockey, and they're really good at it, and they do a lot of updates. So, if you haven't had a chance, check some of those guys out. The hockey guy's one that I like to follow. He does a really great job. There's another guy that does a lot on equipment. Pretty cool stuff. We got lots to talk about today. We got a big tournament weekend coming up. But before we get to that, I want to send a shout out to one of our very own, Mr. Joe Prescott, celebrating his birthday today. So got to give Joe a shout out. So happy birthday. And if you guys haven't sent him a Facebook or a tweet or something, please do so. Always a good guy, always fun, and one of the best refs we've ever had. So happy birthday, Joe.
And he loves phone calls too. So, but just be ready. Just be ready. He's going to want to talk, so be ready to have something to talk about.
That's good. I love refs
which is always
that like
a good
to talk.
Yep.
Coaches like refs that want to talk. A lot of refs don't want to talk when it comes down to a coach, but
yeah, well,
Joe's
sometimes
not one of those guys.
No. So he'll appreciate it too if anybody gives him a call. So just so you know, he's always open for him, even if they're questions.
Plus, all you Blackhawks fans, I mean, things have changed. I mean, Pat Foley has retired. Now, I haven't had a chance to check out the new guy here. He's been on. I don't know who it is. I got to check him out. I haven't had a chance to watch a Hawks game recently. Been too busy. But, Foley did a great job for us for a long time and so much part of the Blackhawks organization. I don't know. They got to find a way to retire or something for Foley or hang something in the banner up in the balconies for him. Oh, they should. I mean, he's been such a big part of the game for us. So
I can't. So the only time that I've ever not had it, was when he was with the Wolves for I think that was 2 years, wasn't it?
Something
that
like
was
that.
That was already a long, long time ago.
Yeah. Then they figured out not the right thing. He needs to be over here at Blackhawks. So happy retirement to Pat. Did a great job for us. All right, so let's talk about, we got a busy weekend coming up. Real busy.
You have a busy weekend, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Are you sitting this one out?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not right now. Or I am right now.
Oh, waiting for a bonus.
No. No, I just needed a break.
Well,
seriously.
We all need a break, but, the season is going to be over so fast. I mean, honestly, this is already we're actually past mid-April at this point.
Yep.
And it's still snowing out. It snowed this morning and it flurried this afternoon. This weather is just ridiculous. So we might as well be skating because it still feels like winter here, obviously. For those of you that aren't in Chicago, if you're in a warm place, this is not a warm place right now. It should be a warm place, but it's not. So, that's it. But we got a lot of games coming up this weekend. If you haven't had a chance to get some games, guys, I'm sure the schedulers would love for you to check a box somewhere.
There's definitely
take some games because they need a lot of help this weekend. Okay, it is busy. There's actually more than one tournament here. How they ever plan that, I don't know. Why didn't they take a different week so we could all be busy and be happy 2 weeks? Instead, we're going to be busy for 1 week here, and it's going to be just absolutely insane. We got a couple people checking in, so Flavory Soup. Let's go, boys are live. Yes, we are. I need a break too, Bradley. I'm with you. Yeah, we all need a break, but I'm not taking it because the season's going to be over in another month. I mean, we've got another 6 weeks of hockey, basically, and then it gets kind of quiet. It's golf season at that point. So, And a Facebook user says, happy birthday, Joe Prescott. Pops, the big 6'6". Oh, he's got the Mario Lemieux going. He's hit the Mario Lemieux number. Way to go. It's Alan from Skokie. All right, Alan, thanks for that. Alan was nice enough to actually text me this morning and remind me it was Joe's birthday. So that's why I definitely want to pop that off. So a special thanks to Alan for making that happen because he did definitely get us to do that. So good job, Alan.
I was lucky enough to have my Facebook. I caught it.
Yeah. Something we were going to talk about last week, which we really didn't get a chance to talk about, is emergency situations. And, this is probably a good weekend to talk about that because everybody's going to be so busy. A lot of the guys are going to be moving from rink to rink to rink. I don't know about you. I got a lot of games. I'm in different locations for one of the days and moving back and forth. So I think we should cover some of the, we'll call it referee emergency situations, like what to do, guys. Okay, you got partners. So I'm going to say the first thing you should do this week is double check your schedule. And what I mean by that is I would print that schedule out rather than having to go to the phone, your device to get your schedule when you need it. I would actually print a hard copy of your schedule out with all the numbers for your partners and their email addresses and everybody else. It's
If
a
you
really good
can.
idea to have that, put it in your bag in case for some reason you get stuck, no internet, ref room doesn't have it. You got a
what
way to get a
happens?
hold of your partner.
What
Okay?
happens if the website's down?
Well, that can happen too, and it does go
Mm-hmm.
down. So they might even take it down. As crazy a weekend as it is.
No.
But yeah, print out a copy of your schedule, guys, and keep it with you with all your partners' names. So what's the next thing we should do, Brad, for an emergency situation?
Knowing that we have a game is number one key.
Yeah.
So number two is what's the emergency? You need to define what an emergency is. Some people it's my sub pump shut down, which unfortunately actually did happen to me about 5 years ago. I woke up and there was 2.5 inches of water in my basement. I deem that one as an emergency. Sorry, I'm not going to make it that day.
It's not an emergency till the water hits you in the ass. 2.5 inches isn't going to do it.
So yeah, well, it was enough, but I had to get that pump changed out. It took me, a couple hours through that day, and it was, that next you got to make the decision of, if you have a full day of games, is that emergency going to affect the whole day, or is it going to affect one game? Like, let's say, I don't know, your wife is ill and you need to take her to the urgent care or something. That's probably going to affect your whole day. I mean, I'm just putting it out there to give you peace of mind. So you need to make that decision next. Yeah. Is it going to affect just one day?
Yeah, a true family
time?
Emergency. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
And everybody's going to understand
Sump pump, I don't know. Maybe.
If you had to. Hang on.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of volume going on over there, if you know what I'm referring to. I think he just silenced the volume mode over there a little bit.
I had to. So, in other words, after you define the emergency, now it's the 911 part. Yeah. And what's the 911 part? What are the steps, Scott? What do you think?
Well, I think, okay, let's say, if your car breaks down, you get in an accident, something of that nature, obviously, yeah, you got a 911 situation. You need to reach out. You need to reach out, to your partner and let them know what's going on. Give them an idea as to, are you going to get there, when you might get there, are they going to be going it alone? Whatever the case may be, just kind of give them a heads up as to what's going on. The next call or next email needs to be to the assigner to let them know.
Yeah,
maybe even to the
is.
rink. If you don't get a hold of your partner, you might even want to contact the rink, okay? Somebody at the rink and let them know what's going on, that they can get to your partner, because your partner may very well be on the ice. The way we switch out for some of these games, you may be 2 on or 3 on and then off a game or two and then back for another 2, 3, whatever the number may be. But, your partners may be on a different rotation schedule than you are. So you may not be able to get to your partner directly. You might be able to leave them a voicemail or a text message, but you might want to call the rink if there's a serious issue going on. If you're running 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, leave your partner a text message, leave them a voicemail, something of that nature. But if it's more serious than that, you should definitely reach out and let everybody know. Keep everybody in the loop.
And what's interesting about that is if you let your partner know, they might have another partner already there.
Yeah, and for the guys that are there, if you're about to start a game and you got a couple of people in the room and your partner hasn't arrived yet, if there's any way you can get one of the other partners to stay there for a few minutes, even if it's just for the warm-up, just to go out on the ice with you for a few minutes, try to do that. If they don't have to be at another rink. I mean, if they've finished their assignment there and it's time for them to go, they have to get to another rink. I get that. But if it's their lunch break, I sympathize, but if they could stay for 5 or 10 minutes and maybe start the period with you, they may have to do more than a period, and they will get compensated. I'm speaking, not as an official here, but usually they're really good. If you help out or something like that, and you're staying like that, they're going to try to compensate you. They're not going to try to screw you on that deal. It's just to help everybody, makes everything run a lot smoother. So, I definitely suggest. Those steps, obviously.
All right,
going beyond that, anything else we should cover with that?
So here's the next part. What if you can't get a hold of the assigners?
Well, you got to leave them an email. I mean, send them an email, send them a text, whatever way. I mean,
Email,
a lot
call,
of us have,
text.
a lot of us have, direct phone numbers to some of the assigners.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
here's-
if you know one of them and you can text them, like get the message to somebody, I'm sure they would appreciate it. They may not appreciate it if they're not on duty that day, but you know what? They do appreciate it because they like to know what's going on.
Well, now, here's where I play the devil's advocate on this. You can't get a hold of anybody, right? All of them were on a ship. All these assigners in the whole
They
state.
may all be out on the ice
They're all
working too.
Right, and nobody can get back to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, or in the smaller areas, there might be only one assigner,
Right.
right? So you can't get a hold of them. You can't get a hold of them. Your appendix just exploded. They just told you that you're going out into the surgery, right?
Yeah.
You're definitely not making it. Okay, you're in severe pain. You're going in. I mean, it hasn't exploded, but it's about to. You're going back. Okay, I know this might not be the last thing you're thinking of, but you might think of it. If you know somebody really, really good that you're friends with, that referees a lot, or you happen to know somebody that knows a lot of referees, you could put out the feeler on it and see if you could maybe get somebody comparable
Yeah. Maybe
to take that game from you and shoot an email about it. It's not where you want to start,
No.
but if you get there, it could be done. I mean, it's not,
I mean, it
not
helps.
suggested.
I mean, you can certainly put a group text out to some of your buddies that are at the same level. I would, suggest that they're at the same level that
Same
you
level.
are, so that, I mean, if you're getting somebody that you know is way better, sure, that's a win-win, okay? But, if you're a level 2 being assigned to the game, at least get a level 2. If you can get a 3 or a 4, great. But,
Right.
maybe not
don't
getting
put-
a 1 in that situation with little experience, but you may have a 1 that came back from roughing, been off for a while, and certainly he's competent in doing, or she, then great. I mean, obviously, somebody being there is better than nobody being there as the second person. Better for you, and it's better for the game.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see quite a few of the level 1s in that scenario,
Yeah.
because I think there are some people that didn't register again this year.
Yep.
And they definitely did not register the year before. So, there might be some people that didn't know if the season was going to really happen at the beginning. Because remember, in January, we weren't knowing if Nationals was going to be here because of what was going on in the city. So
it's hard to look back and think about that. But yeah, just literally, 6 weeks ago we were talking about our Nationals actually going to come to Chicago?
it was crazy.
Yeah.
But they did. They went off without a hitch. They were good. Yeah. So, but so that's what I would suggest. Just keep everybody in the loop. Especially
the
your
other
partner.
Too, if your vehicle breaks down or you have a mechanical issue, you get a flat tire or something like that, you can call for a ride. You can get a ride share to come pick you up, okay? You can park your car safely. Maybe you're going to be late, but, don't leave everybody hanging in that situation. Don't tell them, I'll be there, and then you don't show up, and then the guy's got to work 3 games by himself because, he's on the schedule for 3 in a row with you.
And they could have got somebody at least for the second or third
maybe
one.
for the second or third game you could have gotten somebody there, or, at least the person be prepared to only have to work 1 game solo or 2 game solo. So, help your partner out, communicate with them, let them know what's going on.
So there was a guy in Chicago last year. I think it was last year. And he came down, he lives in the city. And he came down and, in the city, a lot of people might not know this because they don't go into the city, but during the night and the early morning when it's rush hour and all that, they plow the snow into alleys. And then they move it later. Well, he lives off an alley. They plow it.
Dude, I
He
lived
came
in the
out-
city for 29, 30 years straight.
Where he's at,
If
they plowed
thought
it.
about plowing and snow into my alley, there would be hell to pay for it. They're not plowing snow in your alley.
The snow was 10 feet tall, he said. Couldn't get by it in his car. It was so high.
I want to see a photo of that one, okay? Because they don't plow the snow into our alley.
He took an Uber.
The community gets together and starts digging out of there, okay? I mean, everybody grabs a shovel and helps, but everybody knows if that alley is blocked up, we're stuck. We're not going anywhere.
Well, that's how it was.
Well,
he came back and got his car.
The good news is, as cold as it is here, I don't expect us to have a lot of snow for the weekend. I think we're going to be okay on that one. Keep that one for CCM weekend next year.
The good news is, too, that's the same neighborhood that my catalytic converter was stolen.
Yeah, maybe they piled the snow up so they can get your car in there and get in there and get your catalytic converter like they did, which you still don't have it back, do you? It's not fixed, is it?
No, but I got some good news. It's not going to be, like, very expensive at all, so I'm lucky. So.
Oh, well, that is good news. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm thrilled. I'm ecstatic.
Okay. All right. I know that, it's not easy to get parts for some of these cars now, so that's why I thought you were going to be a while with that. So 2 days in Chicago and the catalytic converter is gone.
Yeah, well, you know what? At work, I had one right after that. And, when they said, I can't believe it happened, I go, let me tell you about it. Hang on. Because I'm going through the same thing. So, I had a good laugh with the one person, and it was funny. Like, I sympathize. I don't want it to happen to anybody, but that I'm going through it at the same time helps. And I'm just laughing about it. It sounds like a NASCAR. My neighbor texts me when I leave. You going somewhere? Like,
that's funny.
Yeah, thanks. So
yeah, the neighborhood knows when Brad is leaving or coming home. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. So
a couple other things maybe we should talk about, like guys have traveled in, or players have traveled in from long distances for the tournament. So typically we try not to overcall these games, like overcall them. Be mindful of what you're doing out there. Let these guys play as long as it's reasonable.
That's a good point for every game.
Yeah.
That's a good tip for every game.
I don't disagree. Call those injury potential penalties, but, let people play hockey, right? Can we say that?
You.
Can we say that?
Try to know your rules as you're going out there.
Yeah. Usually, like, these tournament weekends bring situations that you don't normally see during the course of the regular season, I think. When you're seeing, like, league games and everything is pretty much like everybody's playing pretty hard and, everything kind of has a flow to it. But you get to the tournament games, I've seen the stick go flying from, like, the blue line down to the player that's at the goal just because. Crazy stuff happens at tournaments. So, be prepared. Know your rules. That's a good tip, because you will probably see some situations you don't see during the course of a normal regular season. I think that's fair to say. We got a couple more
comments.
Yeah, family matter isn't an emergency unless you provide all the details to those whose business it isn't. All right, what is this? Karen says, I used to be surprised that some officials kept their stuff in the car. Now I'm surprised when they don't. Well, that's interesting.
That's a good tip.
Karen, it is, but, like, I don't keep my stuff in the car because I bring my stuff in after every game to air it out and clean it. By the way, should have done a video, because I actually, for those of you that have
good video.
Rips in your pants, you get them from the skates and the sticks, but there is a good way to repair those. And I should have shared that, because I actually did some work on my pants today. I had them washed, and then I did the repair. I should have done some videotape on that. If that's something that you'd be interested in, really good ways to fix your pants so they look great, put something in the comments or give us a thumbs up, and, we might be willing to do a video on that. Yeah, you're going to give us a thumbs up. All right. I like that, Brad.
I can't put it in the comments.
I'll share some tips with you. But yeah, I don't keep my stuff in the car, Karen. It's an interesting point. Now, in my car, I do have extra skates. I think I have an extra helmet in my car, at least in one of them. But
I have an extra pair of skates.
I don't carry, like, an extra jersey in the car. I don't carry extra shin guards or anything of that nature. So I'm really not that prepared. Like, I don't even carry, like, an extra, like a black track jacket or something that you could jump out in an emergency if you had to. Maybe that's something I need to think about keeping in the car, but I haven't over the years. And most of the guys, I do know, I have a couple friends that do keep their bag in their car sometimes, but I don't know about you. I like to take my stuff out. I like to air it out. I like to put clean stuff in there. So my bag comes in every night. Like, even if I have a 4 or 5 hour break between games and I stop back at home, I'll bring the bag in. The bag's coming in so I can air it out again.
This sounds like you're picking up your bag a lot.
Yeah, it's not fun. I'm going to be honest. It's not fun. you're dragging that thing everywhere. Would I rather just leave it in the car? Absolutely. But then when you open it up and everything is wet and cold and nasty and stanky, stanky. It'd be stanky.
Well, so I carry my stuff not always with me, but when I'm going to go to the rink, if I know I'm going to a rink, it's going in the car, even if it's just to go watch my kids play.
Really?
I put it.
That's interesting.
I put it in the car.
You're hoping you're going to get the call for that squirt game, huh?
I'm hoping I never, ever, ever, ever have to use it, ever. Like when I go to eval games, it's in the car. Like, because if I get there, well, I'm already an official. I'm already there.
Yeah.
Like, what happens if there is a 911 situation with one of the referees?
Yeah.
So, and I look at it, especially when I go there and it's my kids' games, I don't really want to do my kids' game. I would never really want to, but if I had to, let's say both the officials didn't show up because it's a father-son combination.
Yeah.
And, Dad and him
that'd be
totally
bad.
forgot. They went to the
there's
wrong
a benefit
wrong
to having
rink.
the father-son. It's two guys coming together, but if there's a breakdown, that's another story.
Yeah, I mean, and things happen. Don't discredit it. It can happen. So I always carry my stuff because I know that, let's say there's 3 games going on and there's only 2 referees there. Well, guess who's not going to get the referees if one's a peewee game and one's a bantam game? My squirts are probably not going to be the one that they're going to jump on. That what I'm saying? They're going to go to the higher level games probably.
That's true. That is true. Well, Karen says we appreciate your clean and dry apparel, but when you supervise, it's a thought. Actually, that's a great point, but when you do supervise, you do have your gear with you. So there's 2 ways of supervising. One is you're writing an evaluation of the game. You're supervising the game and writing an eval of the officials that are working the game. You are required to bring your equipment with you so that you have it in case one of the officials doesn't show up or can't skate or gets hurt. You can jump on and take care of that game. So we do that. And during playoff season, when we're just there literally to supervise the game, we are not evaluating the game per se. We always bring our equipment, and we will also show up a half hour before the game so that in the event somebody has a car problem, has a situation, we can actually get on that game basically immediately and start the game like the regular officials were scheduled to be on that game. So, yeah, we definitely have equipment with us for that. And
I got a good story. So when we were doing that this week or this year, so I'm going over to the Darien rink, I think it was, and I think it was first year squirts or second year squirts, something like that, squirt AA or something. And I get a frantic phone call. Hey, you're the one over there, the extra, right? Yeah. All right, well, the tournament director's there, and she's got 2 teams there for a game. And I think it was 11 or whatever it was. I'm like, well, I'm going to be there at 35, 40 minutes before. I'll get there, I'll find her. She's freaking out. I'm like, it's going to be okay. So I get over there. Well, my phone rings 2 more times on the way from 2 other people. And it's because everybody's very concerned about what's going on. So I'm like, guys, it's okay. Relax. When I get there, I'll let you know. The other one's jumping in the car. He's coming that way. We're going to have 2 people there for the beginning of this game. So I go over there and I talk to this very nice lady that's very stressed out because she's running this tournament. So that's the best thing. If you ever see a very stressed out tournament person, help them out, all right? Because they care and they don't want to get yelled at and they don't want to feel bad.
Yep.
So I get her and I'm like, well, let's go talk to him. So we walk over there and we start talking to him. Come to find out that it's a mite tournament, playoffs, and one of the organizations, and both of the organizations happen to be the same organizations that were playing in this game at 5:30 at night. It's 10 o'clock. She's freaking out about this. And she's like, oh, man. She had called the one manager. The manager was like, I talked to the other manager last night. She's like, what? And she hung up she didn't know what to do. So we get all this done, right? And then she's like, everybody's going to be mad at me. I'm like, I'll tell everybody this. If you're ever in that role, hit the 911 button. Everybody would rather have you hit the 911 button than sit there and wait till that game time and then go, oh, yeah, somebody said that to me a little while ago. Yeah. All right,
Well, I'll tell you, it's gotten interesting because maybe, well, no, I was going to say more for the men's league games, but no, even for the youth games, we have more people knocking on our door before the start of a game.
Yeah, it's definitely
different.
different.
Their head in about 15 minutes before game time to see how many officials if they have an official, and how many officials happen to be there. And that's become very common that we get a knock on the door or no knock on the door and somebody just pushes the door open and counts people real quick, which is not really the right way to do it, folks. If you're one of those people that's pushing that door open, at least knock. Safe sport, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Terry says, hey, Terry, thanks for checking in. Dry stuff for every game. I agree with that. He said, can't stand putting on wet gear. Well, that will lead me to my next tip when you're doing these tournaments and lots of games. Even if it's not a tournament, the best, most important piece of equipment you can keep in your bag is a hairdryer.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a lot of hair to work with, but that hairdryer gets a lot of work, man. I mean, that's how you can dry your skates out pretty quickly. You could dry your socks. You can warm up some cold, wet, long johns if you need to. So it's a really great piece of equipment to keep in your bag. Keep some water, keep some Gatorade, whatever you choose to drink, but something to hydrate with, because if you're working all these games, you're going to need a lot of hydration. You're going through a lot of fluids, so you got to stay hydrated so you're not cramping. A couple energy bars or something in the bag just in case you get hungry, some nuts, whatever, something to kind of fill you up quickly is great. Even some gum. I mean, these are just some things that honestly any official should pretty much have in their bag at all times. A lot of the guys are very well prepared. They show up with, multiple meals prepared.
There's some guys that are really on top of it.
They come in there with sandwiches, whatever, hey, I get it. Even if it's just a peanut butter without the now remember, if you're coming for your partners and I happen to be one of your partners, don't put jelly on the sandwich if you're going to bring me a snack, just so you know. Don't like jelly. But it's a great snack if you need. I mean, this is something that's kind of easy. You can walk in a ref room with a loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter and probably help somebody out who's really all of a sudden finding it kind of tough out there because they've been working a lot of games that day. And some guys will be working 6-8 games that day. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The hairdryer is a great tip,
Hairdryer is a good one. Yeah.
Because
I'm a big fan of, if you're there, like if you're doing 2 sets of games, bring a second set of dry clothes or a third set, like an extra shirt or extra socks, whatever. Be comfortable out there. If you're working 3 or 4 in a row, you might want toe warmers in some of these buildings. I don't know if you guys know what the toe warmers are, if you know about this, but, inside your skate, you can get the toe warmers. They're like hand warmers, but they go inside your skate. You put them underneath, like, you got your footbed that goes in there. Well, you put them underneath the footbed. Mm-hmm. And these are great. And some of these rinks that are just ice cold that you're freezing. Pretty nice. Somebody turned me on to those this season, and I kind of like them for, if I'm doing 3 games, 4 games in a row, they're very nice to have. We didn't used to do that often. It was very rare you were working 3 or 4. It was really only at a tournament. But nowadays, you could find yourself working 4 in a row, and it doesn't have to be a tournament weekend to do it. So
and cold feet can be miserable. So
yeah,
like and I don't wear socks. So like I
used to do that when I was younger.
So I have used those toe warmers outside though. When I've had an outdoor game. So
do you put them on top or do you put them on the bottom of your feet?
So I've done it both ways, and it's not, trust me, unless I really have to do it again, it's not something that I enjoyed either time. Well,
sometimes it gets a little, I've never done it on the top of the toes, but I find that the further I can put it up on my foot, if this is, if this were my toes here, the further I can get that thing up there, the more comfortable it is. If it gets back on the, more towards the ball of your foot, it starts to get a little uncomfortable because it's warm and, the ingredients in there aren't always exactly like perfectly level. So I think if you can get a little further forward, that's just a pro tip of mine that I would give you for those that have not tried this yet. But it is really nice. I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. They last a long time. Like, you could probably get through your whole day on one package of these things. So,
yeah, it was nighttime and it was outside, and I think it was like negative, like I want to say it was like -20 because I remember the coaches were there, and they were one of them's a referee, and he was running late because it was at Rosemont over there, He was running late because you know how the traffic gets over there.
Yep.
So I went and I got him a burger in the one pub that's right there, and he looked so miserable standing there watching that game. I felt for him. I'm like, at least I was moving around,
Yeah.
But I don't particularly like it. I'll referee ice hockey where it's meant to be played indoors.
Yeah,
But
I
some of the
agree.
rinks can be cold.
I don't take outdoor games. I did one by accident my first year or two on the job reffing and never did another one. It was a nice night. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was a very pleasant night. I just didn't enjoy it. I don't like it. You can have me at Wrigley Field. I'm not going. Sorry. Take me off the list. As much as I would love to ref at Wrigley Field one day, not going. Not doing it. Certainly not doing Soldierville. I hate that place. Not getting me down there. Not going to happen.
This has become the rinks. The
Not
rinks
gonna
that
happen.
Scott
Schedulers,
won't
if you're
go to.
listening, if you think you're putting one of those on the sheet, forget it. I'm not going to be there. Just thought I'd let you know. All right. Alan, he asked if you wear socks. I think Brad already answered that. So
I did.
The answer is no, he does not wear socks. Let's see what else we got. So many open games next week. Yeah, there's a lot. You mean this
There's a
week?
lot.
I think it's this week.
This week.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
this
it?
week. There's a lot of open games. So, Carl, put in for somebody. Get some games. I have not needed a hairdryer since the 80s. Yeah, you and me both, Terry, but doesn't stop me
Terry
from
giving
having
himself
one.
giving
Yeah,
himself a
exactly.
hard time as always.
Yep. Mark says Straley is the PBJ king. Yes, he is. I think he buys them like ready-made in the package. Like they are.
Yeah, they're like the pocket ones, right?
Professionally made peanut butter and jelly. Yeah. Hey, some of the guys are better at bringing snacks. I got to tell you, we have some guys
I'm
that you
not-
can always count on for like a good candy bar or bag of trail mix or something of that nature. And believe
Yeah,
me,
that's-
if you don't have it and you need it, it's very, very welcome.
I carry
see.
trail mix always, but I
trail mix
don't
is
ever,
good.
I don't ever think about it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I literally had to have one of the refs. He gave me a couple bags of trail mix while I was supervising because I had been at the rink all day, couldn't get out of there, and I went upstairs to get food at one of the rinks, and they had already closed. I'm like, I'm dying here. I've been here like for 12 hours. I need something to eat. So my dinner was 2 bags of trail mix. So I thank you for that. That was nice. Let's see. And guys that come in with fries that smell up the room. Well, there's a lot of things that guys come in with, like hair dryers and their skates, which smell up the room. Okay.
yes,
Or
yep.
hair dryers and the socks.
welcome.
And I'm guilty of that. That I have done that before. But yeah, there are lots of things, and yeah, a lot of the food, especially like the guys that come in with the sub sandwiches with the onions and the oil and all that good stuff. Yeah, it definitely stinks up the room. So, and guys, do us all a favor. Knock the snow off your skates before you come in the ref room. Okay? Don't come in and have the skates. I don't want to just call out the younger guys on this one, but, keep your
It's a
stuff in
common
one
theme
area.
everywhere.
Put your bag away. There's
Oh.
going to be a lot of guys coming in and out of these rooms over the weekend. Give them some space. Like, don't leave your cell phone over here and you got your shoes over. Like, some of these guys just think it's like their bedroom, like it's a master suite. Just put your stuff wherever you want. But,
And
be considerate of the other guys that are coming in there.
And let's get on since we're on the topic, let's talk about e-bags. If you
What
happen
about
to
'em?
have the biggest e-bag there is, those things are huge, okay? Don't leave it open on the floor while you're refereeing.
Yeah. Yeah. I have an e-bag. I will admit I have an e-bag. By the way, they're not as good as they used to be. Mine's already fallen apart, and it's a brand new one. I just thought I'd throw that out there. So, e-bags,
Oh.
if you watch the show, you guys have slipped. Just saying.
Scott's got a lot
The
of
quality
complaints today.
has gone down on them. And if you want more information, reach out to me. I'll share what the issues are with the bag. Okay? So, a lot of guys have them. A lot of guys love them. Quality's gone down. So, you might have to start looking in another place for those things, just so you guys know. Plus, they don't make black anymore. I don't think they want our business. You know, they have this
Black with orange on the inside. I mean, they were like
they stopped
set
that.
up.
You
They
can't
were
get a
like
black
set up
bag
for
from
it.
them anymore. No, but I think they changed hands or something. Something happened there, but they definitely have changed. So put your bag away, close it up, leave some room for the next guys. Okay, don't take every hook in the place for your clothes. You know, be nice.
There's a referee. There's a referee that goes to the dollar store and buys command hooks.
Yep, and he puts them all
and he
over
puts
the
them
room.
up every locker room you go to that he's been in. You could be in Birmingham, Alabama, or wherever that is. I don't even know, but I'm just pulling someplace out. And you'll go into the room, and guess what? There's 3 command hooks.
Yeah,
Everybody knows if you're an Illinois guy. Hopefully you know who it is, but it's funny.
Bonesy.
'Cause I've used
I know
them.
Bones.
I've used them.
All right. I'd recommend people be careful about how they bring in foods like peanut butter and other nuts, as that is a very common allergy and don't want anyone to have any sickness. So prepackaged or keep things. You know, if you're that soft, you probably shouldn't be playing hockey or refereeing. I'm a just throw that out there. Okay, suck it up. There's going to be nuts in the ref room. We're all nuts in the ref room, right? We got nutty hockey players. So, anyway. All right. I don't know who put that up, but yeah, not.
That's okay.
Whatever. And Scott can dirt his hair with the face cloth. Dry his hair with the face cloth. Yeah. Who's got a face cloth, Terry? That's what I want to know. I don't think I even own one of those, so I don't know about that. Socks just get. Are you trying to just get wetter? Yes, they do. Let's see. Go to McDonald's meal on long days. Yeah, I mean, that's great if you can get there. The problem is, here's my take on McDonald's. If you have time to stop, great. But I don't know about you. I don't want to eat McDonald's that's cold. Like, I'm not bringing it to sit in the ref room and eating cold food. And that is one of the, it's just a personal thing. My end, I would love to stop somewhere and get a sandwich to take to, one of these games to keep for later. But most places are serving hot food. It's very hard to find a place that will just sell you a sandwich that's cold that can stay there. So, like, if you get to Corner Bakery, you can get a sandwich that stays nice and it'll be fine for 3 hours or 4 hours and you can eat it. Great. But, you're going to Culver's, you're going to Arby's, you're going to McDonald's, you're going to Burger King, whatever the place may be. It's all hot food. I don't want to eat cold fries and a cold burger. I don't know about you, but that's not my thing. Not even cold pizza is my thing. We have no way to warm it up unless we're going to start getting like the construction workers and everybody brings their own microwave in their bag. You can put your microwave in your e-bag and now you can heat up your lunch.
Hey, you could use your hairdryer.
Yeah. I guess that's a thought. I hadn't really thought about that, but okay. Anything is possible. Let's see. Mark says, always can count on PBJ from Straley and ice cold ones from Gaffney. Yeah, Gaff is the man. He knows what he's doing. I believe Terry's pretty good at that too. We got a few guys that are good about that. It's always nice to have a beverage with the boys after the game. Donuts don't stink. Yep. Yeah, donut. You're right.
So when I saw that come in,
probably not the healthiest snack choice, but that doesn't stop me. I'd have a donut. I would do that.
Scotty, I think that's a drop with Koharski when the coach told him to go eat another donut, you fat ass. I think that's what that was there. I'm just going to point.
I thought it just meant you need a snack. You should go get another donut, huh?
No, I think that was a drop of a famous incident of when he shoved him, and that's exactly what he says. Go eat another donut, you fat ass. And then the NHL suspended him.
Both the partners for the weekend. Okay, well, then you're working with the big boys. Jersey Mike's again.
Yeah, Jersey Mike's is a good one.
That's going to stink.
I like
it's
Jersey
Mike's. It's going to stink.
I don't need onions,
It's got
so mine's
the oil
fine.
and vinegar. It's got the onions. It's going to stink. I love Jersey Mike's, okay? There's a plug for Jersey Mike's. I like it. Not a fan of the hot stuff, but the cold sandwiches are good. But
Their Philly cheesesteak's pretty good.
Not only are they going to stink, your hands are going to stink. You're going to stink. The coaches won't want to talk to you if you eat all that onion. You go over there, you had a chicken Caesar salad or, maybe a Jersey Mike's with lots of onions on it. The coach is probably not going to want to talk to you about that icing call he didn't agree with. Yeah. Another tip we might give you.
Another tip. Another tip. Exist.
You might want to start eating onions before the game, boys. Tournament rinks should supply rinks with water. Eat at Portillo. Yeah, I agree. But again, Portillo's, unless you get a salad, like you can get a salad from Portillo's, yes, and take it over there. But again, you're eating like a Caesar salad or something like that. It's good. I don't know if it's enough to get you through like 6 games, but I'd love a beef sandwich. But again, I don't want it to be cold.
It'd be cold and soggy.
Cold. Yeah, it's disgusting. Not good.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm not eating in the car anymore.
Don't be talking down on my place at work. Which place? Jersey
Mike's
or one of the rinks? Oh, okay.
He's talking about Jersey Mike's.
I'm not talking down on Jersey Mike. I like Jersey Mike's. I just like the cold stuff better than the hot stuff. Not that I've ever had the hot stuff. I'm not a Philly cheesecake or a cheesesteak kind of guy. I'm an Italian. I'm an Italian beef guy. So, what can I say? Good, maybe I'll start eating onions. Yeah, I figured that might be a tip for somebody to start eating onions. Maybe that with Caesar salad, like have a nice Caesar salad and some onions before you go over and talk to the coaches. That's a pro tip. All right. Well, I think we got a little crazy with some of the tips here, but anyway, just stay safe out there, guys. Be careful. Stay alert. Be aware.
Be ready.
Yeah, be ready for anything because anything can happen at any given time. What else you got for us, Brad?
I don't have anything. I thought it was a great week. I thought this topic was going to take longer.
Yeah?
Which doesn't normally happen to us. Normally we're like, we didn't get to everything that we wanted to talk to.
That's true. That's true. We still got 14 minutes left we could kill.
We could end
I
it on a good
know you're having
note.
a tough time sitting there. You want to talk about that?
No.
No?
No.
Brad just shakes his head when I bring up the topic he doesn't want to talk about. There you go.
I don't. So.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Bring water to ref room rinks. Yes, I agree. The tournament should
I try to bring
provide
water always.
A lot of them do. Some of the places are better than others. Even
a lot
some
of the rinks,
organizations now, even some of the high schools in the rinks I didn't like to go to very often, they're starting to put refreshments in there for you. They're
a lot of the rinks
to realize that they might want to be nicer to the referees and the officials to come out and do their games, so that's good.
Scotty, a lot of the rinks have those water bottle fillers now, though.
Yeah.
So I like it. Hey, that's my thing. Like if I know a rink has it, I'm bringing a water bottle.
Nah. No, the majority, there's 2 sites that you're working from.
There's 2
some
sites,
games are still sanctioned, some games are not, so that is true. The 200 by 85, that would be non-sanctioned. Correct? Yeah,
correct.
Non-sanctioned.
As far as I know, unless something's changed.
Don't know. Koharski, Schoenfeld YouTube link.
See, told you.
Yeah, very good. Teddy the man. What's up, Teddy? Thanks for checking in. Yeah, a lot of people checking in today, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we really need to cover. We talked about failure to start play last week, I should say. So we've got some nice guests lined up for the next few weeks here. So we'll make it a short day today. We appreciate you guys checking in. Always love doing that and seeing the crowd. Somebody's asking how Frankie is doing today. Frankie is right here. Come here, Frank. Come here.
I could hear
Frankie.
her.
There's the Frankie. You can't see her. She's not turning towards the camera today, but she's right there. So Frankie's always arm's distance away from me. She's my girl. Yeah, she's a good girl. Aren't you, sweetie? Yeah, you good girl. Yeah.
All right.
Now she's coming up. Yeah. You can see the nose. There's the nose. The nose that knows everything, okay? She's got quite a sniffer on her. Anyway, all right, so next week, hopefully it'll be warmer when we start doing this. Golf season's getting a little closer. It keeps inching its way towards us.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we've got a golf outing that we need to talk about. We'll do a show probably on that at some point. So we should do a save the date. I want to say it's June 24th. Don't quote me on that. I believe it's June 24th. Did you reach out to our 4th yet, Brad? Did you get our 4th? All right, you need to reach out to our 4th. Our 4th is watching today. If one of you is a golfer, one of our, I saw a comment from one that we've asked to be a 4th here. So, if you're available, we're taking you in. So, so yeah, that's one thing we did want to cover. Golf outing, that is coming, June 24th.
We will.
Yeah, all right. And I think it's going to Poplar Creek or something like that, like Hoffman Estates area. So it's moving this year, just so you guys know. But it's a great time. So start planning. Put a hold on June 24th for yourselves.
And
great
dinner.
day and for a great cause. Yeah, dinner, lunch, dinner, and everything.
And lunch.
Yeah. So it's we're going large, I guess, this year. It's going bigger.
So it was such a good time last year. Everybody wanted to expand it. So we thought, and it's all the proceeds go to Puck Cancer afterwards. We're trying to get some good raffle gifts, so that should be pretty good. There's going to be some different stuff this year, so we're hoping to have a good time. And it's a good cause. Mark Gore Award is given out at that golf outing. So he has a memorial from. If people don't know who Mark was a really great guy. He was a coach, a player, a referee, and he was so passionate about refereeing that a lot of us got together and there was a lot of talk, and he did so many things to helping with seminars, to evaluations. He would go out and skate with new referees that were at the seminars, like for their first game if they were nervous. Like he would set up a time, like basically almost like an evaluation, or not an evaluation, a mentor spot. And he would go do it himself. So a lot of us saw that, and a lot of us felt that Mark was a guy that everybody's going to want to, we're going to want to have a piece to remember him for years to come. So there's an award that we give out. And that actually, it's kind of interesting that we're talking about that because the committee is going to start talking about that. So
and we just lost another ref this past week. We had one pass. So, condolences to Mr. Cheever's family. Brian has been a ref with us for a number of years and a really nice guy, good guy to work with, and friendly guy. And
he was a super, super nice guy.
Yeah.
And it was funny when you told me the name. I'm like, I know him. And then I saw a photo of him. I'm like, oh wow. Sometimes where you just can't put a name with a face.
Yep.
And that's how it was. So, and he was a Chicago police officer.
I think he was a detective or something. And I think he was also a paramedic, if I'm not mistaken. He worked for the fire department as well. So he's been around in public service for a long time and was a really nice guy. And condolences to his family. It's we're always sad to hear one of ours is not with us anymore. So thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
All right.
So we had we got the good and the bad. We had the birthday with Joe, and we got the sad thing with Brian and his family. But we push on, everybody. With that, I don't want to leave it on a sad note, but take some games, guys. It's going to be a nice, busy weekend. Make that money while you can. Do yourselves a favor and the schedulers a favor. Click that button again if you haven't, and we'll see you out there this weekend. I look forward to skating with some of you guys this weekend. And,
there you go.
Brad, you're recovering over there. Is that the deal?
I'm recovering from how long the season was. I'm like another week out, and we're plugging away on seminars, and it's just
I know.
Last week was crazy. So
yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next Monday, 5:30 p.m. We do it right here at the Ref Room, and you can watch the replays. To all the replay people checking us out on YouTube and Facebook, we appreciate it. In the meantime, I'm Scott Smokin Silz along with Brad Baumruck, and we'll see you next Monday right here on the Ref Room. Peace out, everybody. Have a great week.